So there is a huge growing presence, ladies and gentlemen, of people of all walks of life, now including even celebrities at this point, calling out Governor Gavin Newsom for the mishandling of the wildfires and the mishandling of the state in general. The cost of living, the homelessness epidemic, the overdoses. California is a mess right now. California has been a mess for many years under this guy's leadership, and so many people are coming together and unifying to demand Gavin Newsom to resign. So, the New York Post put this together saying recall effort against Newsom underway in California following alleged mishandling of LA fires. A recall attempt to knock California Governor Gavin Newsom out of office is underway as he faces sharp criticism for his handling of the Los Angeles wildfires, with opponents labeling his leadership as a series of catastrophic failures. Organizers against Newsom vowed to file papers in the next 2 weeks in hopes of jumpstarting the process that could leave the Democrats' ouster in the middle of a second term in the governor's mansion. The state chief executive, along with Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, is fighting for his political life as the wildfires have torched more than 40,000 acres, destroyed more than 12,000 structures, and killed at least 24 people. And you can see also there, almost 3 times the size of Manhattan. So just to give you a perspective of how much these fires have devastated the entire state. Under the reign of Governor Gavin Newsom, living in California has become impossible for average people throughout the years of poor policies, which have increased the cost of living, increased crime, increased drug use, and homelessness, increased the cost of burden on small businesses and communities, while decreasing our professional standards, education standards, the disappearance of billions of taxpayer dollars to failed pet programs and public services. One recall organizer, Randy Economy, said in a statement, This was most recently demonstrated by the woeful unpreparedness and incompetent response to the fires currently ravaging Los Angeles area. He told Newsweek on Monday that he plans for a recall where in the weeks before the wildfires start, but the chaos has shortened our time frame and changed things. A notice of intent needs to be filed first, and then recall supporters must collect about 1.3 million signatures in 5 months, according to the outlet. Economy, who has led a recall against Gavin Newsom in 2021, in late 2024, started the organization Saving California, which boasts a mix of professionals, working families, and community advocates. Governor Gavin Newsom's governance has been marked by a series of catastrophic failures, particularly his mismanagement of the recent wildfires, which have led to the unprecedented displacement and destruction, Dr. Human David Hemedi, another organizer, also argued. Wildfires are a common and well-known issue in California. The fact that Governor Newsom has not been able to come up with any plan or prep after 6 years as governor and 8 years as lieutenant governor shows that he's completely unprepared and lacks the compassion and will to lead California any longer, Hemedi added. Newsom easily survived the 2021 recall vote in a state where Democrats hold a clear advantage in voter registration over Republicans. A spokesperson for Newsom dismissed the latest attempt to throw Dem out of office, insisting that to Newsweek that the governor is 100% focused on the fire's ongoing rescue efforts and the recovery process, not politics. So So now my question is, how many people did you save when you went on to Pod Save America? How many rescue attempts did you do when you made a website to combat disinformation? How many people have you saved? How many people have you dealt with and responded to when you're doing fake phony calls to the president and a woman had to scream in your face to get off your ass and do something? Stop doing these PR stunts and do something. This is your responsibility. You are responsible for the state of California. It's on fire, and you haven't done squat. You've done PR appearances. You went on to podcast shows. You've done some media circles. That's it. And it's all really about you. It's all really about protecting your political career, which at this point is non-existent at this point. Readers still should have the context that the same group of far-right Trump advocates have launched 6 different recall attempts against the governor since he's taken office, each of which have failed spectacularly, spokesperson Nathan Kitz said in a statement. Even Republican Party leaders have criticized these repeated attempts as a brazen campaign finance grift, and the recall organizers have been sued by their own donors for pocketing funds raised previously. Meanwhile, an online petition calling for Bass, who was in Ghana when the fires erupted last week, to be removed from office has grown to nearly 130,000 signatures. So, none of this is good for the Democratic Party. None of this is good. The fact that you fatally lost to a game show host again, and the fact that you just mismanaged your entire country, and now just in the state of California, one of the biggest blue states in the country, just goes to show you that they have nothing left. They have nothing left to offer you. They don't have anything to offer you because the Democratic Party turned their back on working class people years ago. And this is all built up to the snowball effect to now it's right in front of your face. Right in front of your face that they're turning their back away from you. They're saying, screw you. They're giving you a one-time payment of $770. Just take it and shut up. Get out of here. To the people that lost everything. Just like we saw with North Carolina, just like we saw with East Palestine, Ohio, just like we see with Lahaina fires, just like we've seen with the Flint, Michigan water that still has not been fixed. And Barack Obama, all he did was went to the city and did a PR stunt asking for a glass of water. And lied to the people. Told you, water's not that bad. Can I have a glass of water? Look. These people are not into you. These people have no respect for you. And this is the perfect, huge visual reminder of just that. And the fact that Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, and now with Joe Biden tied into this, just goes to show you they have no interest to serve the people that put them in power. These are aristocrats that they get in their circles, they cater to Wall Street, they cater to the billionaire class, and don't give a damn about people within their constituencies. So, we can go on many examples of Gavin Newsom's failures over the many, many years. But here's just another example to add to the list that Wall Street Apes points out. He says, there are no words to describe this. A journalist goes into the Los Angeles Fire Department repair yard and was able to record just how many vehicles are waiting to be repaired. So not only are the fire hydrants that we saw in a previous segment that we did, not only that the fire hydrants need to be fixed, but here's also the fire trucks that are desperate need of repair. And the fact that Karen Bass cut the city department fund for firefighting significantly down in a place where it's frequent to wildfires. So, in hindsight of all this, again, this is where it comes to preparedness. This is where it comes down to making sure that you have a sustainable fire department and you had water in the reservoirs that are able to combat these fires, regardless of climate change, regardless of how these initial fires started. You have to prepare, especially when it's frequent in your area. Endless amounts of vehicles that could be used to fight the Pacific Palisades fire. Gavin Newsom must resign. LAFD Bureau of Supply and Maintenance filmed by Film the Police LA. Now, I had to shut off the audio to this video because there's music underneath it and there's copyright. But here's just a look at it. It's just completely, like you said, it's speechless. So these are all the fire trucks that are in desperate need of repair. And the reason they're not in repair is because the city, Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, cut the fire department budget so significantly that they had to let go all their maintenance crews. All of their mechanics were laid off. So, if you don't have proper mechanics and maintenance crews to maintain these vehicles, then it makes it worse for the fire department itself to combat these wildfires. And it just becomes this ever-long snowballing effect that could have been easily avoided, could have been easily maintained if Karen Bass did not do that and then sent that surplus, the surplus of fire supplies, off to Ukraine. There was a surplus at one point. She sent that off to Ukraine and then cut the budget in her own city. So these are all the ingredients that are adding in to this to them mismanaging this whole situation. And this is where so many people, working class Californians, middle class Californians, even celebrities that really used to not really give a damn about governor and politics and whatnot, because they lived their happy lifestyle on the hills. They just cared about the views. They didn't care much about city politics and semantics and all that stuff. Now even them are calling for Gavin Newsom to resign. They're the ones even forefronting that this recall needs to take effect. Calling out Gavin Newsom, calling out Karen Bass, calling out the Democratic Party, that this is the bluest blue state in the entire country, and this is the response you give. This is the response you give to your own Democrats. Goes to show they have no intent of serving you. No intent whatsoever. So this guy, Uber Wisdoms, says LA Fire Chief Crowley testified some time ago that roughly 20% of LAFD's fleet was out of service. In recent remarks, she said that the 17 million plus budget cuts caused the department to lose civilian mechanics who repaired its out-of-service vehicles. So this was known way while before even the fires existed. This is well known, well documented. They testified this. They brought it up to city council meetings time and time again. And what did Karen Bass do? Nothing. What did Gavin Newsom do? Nothing. But they know that California has been dealing with droughts. They know that California is frequent to wildfires. They know how significant it is to have the proper preparedness and emergency response in dealing with these crises. And yet they still did nothing. Still did nothing. And that is where people are just fed up with this. You're talking about one of the richest states in the United States, the fifth largest economy on Earth. Not United States, yeah, on Earth. The fifth largest economy in the planet is California. They pay the most in taxes. They pay the most in fees. They have a tremendous industry supply. And yet they could not respond to a disaster and failed the people within their own state. You pay all your money, you pay all your dues, and this is what you get. Whether being the highest taxes or the lowest taxes. At this point, it goes to show people that all these politicians And whether it be in a red state or a blue state, when push comes to shove, when your money that's supposed to set aside for an emergency like this, completely gone. They just don't give a damn about you. But Gavin Newsom is still giddy either way, because to remind people, Gavin Newsom, yeah, you may be losing your political abilities. You may have to resign at this point. You have no chances in running for the president of the United States in 2028, which is what people were hoping for in the Democratic donating base. That probably won't exist now after the disaster of this wildfire. But Gavin Newsom wants you to smile and be giddy because of this.
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward.
Yeah, be happy. We're going to buy up your burnt land. Oh, think of how amazing that is. Oh, yeah. We got some investors coming in. Yeah. Ooh, it just makes me so giddy. I feel so warm. It's like a hot chocolate down the throat. Ha! Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. I know you lost everything and all your memories and your precious mementos, and your family won't be the same, and you don't know if you ever maintain in California, but you know, foreign investors will just come in, buy the land, and I don't know, make modern day prisons. Because that was the intent, and there was another person in this conversation. I don't know exactly who. He represents the developers coalition in response to this. And they're also initializing plans that, hey, these burnt properties, instead of individual homes that families can use, why don't we put up some more condo buildings? Why don't we put some more, condensed, large, kind of manufactured apartment buildings that are clustering everybody together? And at some point, you have to look at these apartment buildings and look at these modern day takes of a condo and look at that and think, is that actually a feasible response to this? Or is this a manufacturing of what is a luxury shoebox prison? Because that's what a lot of these modern day apartments are turning into, the current ones that are being developed. You get a shoebox for space. It's impossible to raise a family. It's impossible to, maintain a household in this tiny box. You basically get a bed and a toilet, and that's it. And it almost looks like a luxury prison at this point. It's all beige. It's all just, there's no life to it. There's no life to it. But in Gavin Newsom's case, such a great idea. I'm already working with people. I talked to the other guy that had a mysterious wildfire. Oh, think of how giddy this is. Oh. Don't mind me. I'm just doing my Kegel exercises. So there you go. Here's to slime bag, dirt bag of the West, Gavin Newsom, the sleaziest non-car salesman persona I have ever seen. Because that's what this is. I know you lost everything, but hey, if we get this foreign investor guy to, buy up your land, we'll provide something to you. It's like if your car breaks down, you bring it back to the dealership. Oh, this guy will buy it for you, and then we'll, I don't know. We won't get you another car because why would we serve you? But that is why so many people are calling this guy out, and for good reason. Just to name a few.